The rain pounded against the windows like angry fists as Emma stood in the doorway of Michael's home, her hand frozen on the doorknob. Lightning illuminated her face for a brief moment, revealing eyes filled with 5 years of unspoken longing. The storm outside was nothing compared to the tempest raging in their hearts. "Please," Michael whispered, his voice breaking with emotion. "If you stay tonight, I might lose the strength I've been holding for years." Their eyes met across the shadowy entryway, electricity crackling between them that had nothing to do with the storm. 5 years of restraint, of denial, of putting his daughter first. All of it balanced on a knife's edge in this single, breathless moment. But if you're feeling the intensity of this emotional journey, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartfelt stories that explore the depths of love, loss, and second chances. Your support means everything to us. Michael Bennett had been living half a life for exactly 5 years, 3 months, and 22 days. The night his wife Amara's car had been hit by a drunk driver, leaving him a widower hour at 34 and their daughter Lily motherless at just 4 years old. He remembered the hospital's antiseptic smell. The doctors practiced sympathy, the way his knees had buckled when they told him she was gone. "Where's Mama?" Lily had asked that night, her tiny voice piercing the fog of his grief. "When is she coming to tuck me in? How do you tell a 4-year-old that Mama is never coming back? That the goodnight kisses, the butterfly hugs, the way she sang made-up songs during bath time. All of it was gone forever that night, holding his daughter's small body against his chest as she finally fell asleep. Michael made 2 promises. He would give Lily the most beautiful life possible, and he would never let anyone close enough to shatter them again. For 2 years, he kept both promises. He learned to braid hair by watching YouTube tutorials. He mastered the art of heart-shaped pancakes and monster-free bedtime checks. He built a successful architectural firm that allowed him to work primarily from home, arranging client meetings during Lily's preschool hours. His mother-in-law helped when she could, but her own grief often made her presence more painful than comforting. Friends drifted away, uncomfortable with his status as the tragic widower hour. Dating was unthinkable, not just because of his own broken heart, but because of the risk to Lily. She had already lost one parent. He wouldn't subject her to a parade of potential mother figures who might disappear. Then Emma Lawson moved into the house next door, and everything changed. Emma wasn't looking for complications. At 32, she was focused on her career as a child psychologist. Having recently ended a long-term relationship with a man who couldn't understand why she chose to work with traumatized children instead of pursuing a more lucrative private practice. They need someone who sees them. She told Michael once, months after they'd become friends. Someone who understands that their pain is real, even if they don't have the words for it yet. Their friendship began with small kindnesses. Emma bringing over a homemade soup when Lily was sick with the flu, Michael fixing the leaky faucet in Emma's kitchen, Lily. Then 6, solemnly inviting Miss Emma to her school play because Daddy says it's important to include neighbors in special things. What started as neighborly courtesy evolved into genuine friendship. Weekend trips to the Children's Museum with Lily, late-night conversations on adjoining porches after Lily was asleep, movie nights where they would analyze plot holes while Lily dozed between them on the couch. Michael found himself looking forward to these moments more than he cared to admit. Emma's laugh soft and genuine, never forced. The way she listened to Lily's rambling stories with complete attention. How she never tried to offer platitudes about Amara or suggest that time heals all wounds. On the 3rd anniversary of Amara's death, Michael and Lily followed their tradition of visiting the cemetery in the morning and the botanical gardens that had been Amara's favorite place in the afternoon. When they returned home, they found a small potted plant on their doorstep with a simple note for remembering. E. It was jasmine, Amara's favorite. Michael had mentioned it once, months earlier in passing. Emma had remembered that night after putting Lily to bed. Michael found himself on Emma's porch, the potted jasmine in his hands, something cracking open inside his chest. "Thank you for this," he said when she opened the door. "It was perfect." Emma's smile was gentle. "Would you like to come in? I have wine or tea if you prefer." They sat in her kitchen, the jasmine plant between them on the table, and for the first time, Michael talked about Amara. Really talked about her. Not just the sanitized version he shared with Lily or the tragic story people whispered about. He told Emma about Amara's passion for photography, how she could spend hours waiting for the perfect light, about her collection of vintage cameras that he kept carefully preserved in their original cases, about how she dreamed of taking Lily to all the beautiful places she'd photographed around the world. "She sounds extraordinary," Emma said softly when he finally fell silent. "Lily has her eyes." "How would you know that?" Michael asked, surprised. "The photographs in your living room. I noticed the first time you invited me over for dinner." Michael studied Emma's face in the soft kitchen light. She was beautiful, but not in the conventional way Amara had been, where Amara had been all vibrant energy and artistic vision. Emma was quiet strength and healing presence. Different, but equally captivating. The realization terrified him. "I should go," he said abruptly. Standing. Lily might wake up. Emma walked him to the door. "Michael," she said as he stepped onto the porch, "it's okay to feel again. I think Amara would want that for you." He couldn't look at her. "Good night, Emma," for the next 2 years. Michael maintained a careful distance. They remained friends, but he established boundaries. Fewer late-night conversations. No more lingering glances. He dated occasionally, brief relationships that never progressed beyond a few dinners. None of the women met Lily. Emma dated too, a fact that twisted something painful in Michael's chest, though he had no right to feel that way. She never brought her dates home, never introduced them to Lily. Their friendship continued, more subdued, but still important to both of them. Lily, now 8, adored Emma with the uncomplicated love of childhood. Miss Emma knows everything. She would declare after Emma helped with a particularly challenging homework assignment or taught her a new constellation during backyard stargazing. On Lily's 9th birthday, Emma gifted her a camera. Not a toy, but a real one, with a book of Amara's photography that Michael had published privately after her death. "This is too much," Michael protested when he saw it. Emma shook her head. "She told me she wants to be a photographer like her mom. Every photographer needs a proper camera." Watching his daughter's face light up as Emma showed her how to focus the lens, Michael felt something shift inside him. The wall he'd built around his heart developed a hairline crack. That night, after the party guests had left and Lily was in bed, Michael found Emma in the kitchen, quietly loading the dishwasher. "You didn't have to stay and help clean up," he said, leaning against the doorframe. Emma smiled over her shoulder. "I don't mind. It was a wonderful party." "Because of you." Michael moved to stand beside her, taking a plate from her hands. The camera, the photography-themed cake, the scavenger hunt. "Lily will remember this birthday forever. She's a special girl." Emma handed him another plate. "You've done an amazing job with her." "Michael." Their fingers brushed during the exchange, and Michael felt it like an electric current through his body. He looked up to find Emma watching him, something vulnerable in her expression. "Emma." The moment was shattered by Lily's voice calling from upstairs. "Daddy, I need water." By the time he returned from tending to Lily, Emma was gone, leaving only a note on the counter. "Had to run. Early client tomorrow. Happy to help any time. E." The 5th anniversary of Amara's death arrived with a violent storm, as if the heavens themselves were marking the occasion. Michael and Lily visited the cemetery in the morning between rain showers, but had to cancel their traditional visit to the botanical gardens as the weather worsened. "I think Mom would understand," Lily said as they drove home, rain pelting the windshield. "She always said plants need rain to grow." Michael's heart clenched. "Your mom was very wise. Miss Emma says that too," Lily replied. "She says, 'Mom's wisdom lives on in me.'" Michael glanced at his daughter, surprised. "When did Emma say that?" "When I was sad about Mom last week. I went to her house after school because you were on that work call." Lily looked out the window. "Is that okay? I know we're supposed to talk about Mom together, but sometimes it's hard to make you sad." Michael reached across to squeeze her hand. "Of course, it's okay, and you never have to worry about making me sad. I love talking about your mom with you." That evening, after a quiet dinner at home, Michael stood on his back porch, watching the storm intensify. Lily was inside, already in pajamas, reading one of the photography books Emma had given her. He pulled out his phone and texted Emma, "Rough day. Could use a friend if you're free." Her reply came quickly. "On my way. 15 minutes." Michael paced the kitchen, suddenly nervous. He poured 2 glasses of wine, then changed his mind and made tea instead, then decided on wine again. What was wrong with him? This was Emma, his friend, his neighbor, his. The doorbell rang, interrupting his thoughts. He opened it to find Emma on his doorstep, rain-soaked despite her umbrella. She wore jeans and a simple sweater, her dark hair curling damply around her face, and Michael's breath caught at the sight of her. "Sorry, I'm a mess," she said, stepping inside and closing her umbrella. "The wind turned my umbrella inside out halfway here." "You're perfect," Michael said before he could stop himself. Emma looked up, surprise evident in her expression. "Michael." He took her wet coat, hanging it carefully on the rack by the door. "I made tea, or there's wine, or both. I couldn't decide." Emma smiled, following him to the kitchen. "Tea sounds perfect. Is Lily asleep reading in bed?" "She should be asleep soon." Michael handed her a mug of tea, their fingers brushing deliberately this time. "Thank you for coming." "Of course." Emma wrapped her hands around the warm mug. "How are you holding up better than I expected?" Michael leaned against the counter, studying her face. "Lily told me something interesting today. She said she talks to you about Amara sometimes." Emma's expression turned cautious. "Yes, I hope that's okay. She comes over occasionally after school. She has questions sometimes that she's afraid will make you sad." "It's more than okay." Michael set his mug down, moving closer to her. "It's one of the countless reasons I've fallen in love with you." The words hung in the air between them, finally spoken after years of careful avoidance. Emma's eyes widened, her tea forgotten in her hands. "Michael, please let me finish. I need to say this." He gently took the mug from her hands, setting it aside. "After Amara died, I built walls around my heart for Lily's protection. I told myself. But really, it was for my own. Because loving someone means risking loss, and I couldn't survive losing anyone else." He moved closer, close enough to see the flecks of gold in her brown eyes. "But not loving you has become more painful than the fear of losing you. And today at the cemetery, I realized something. Amara would be so angry with me for using her memory as an excuse to deny myself happiness." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Are you sure about this? Because if this is just about today, the anniversary, emotional vulnerability—" "It's not," Michael interrupted. "It's about every day for the past 5 years. Every time you made Lily laugh, every time you remembered something small I mentioned months ago, every time you understood exactly what I needed without me having to say it." He reached for her hands, holding them between his own. "I love you, Emma Lawson. I've been fighting it for years, and I'm tired of fighting." Emma's tears spilled over. I love you, too. I have for so long. But I never thought. The rest of her sentence was lost as Michael closed the distance between them, his lips finding hers in a kiss that felt like coming home after a long, cold journey. Her arms wound around his neck as she pressed closer, years of restrained longing finally finding expression. When they broke apart, both breathless, Michael rested his forehead against hers. "Stay," he whispered. "Not just tonight. Stay in our lives. Be part of our family. What about Lily?" Emma asked, concern evident in her voice. "This would change everything for her. We'll talk to her together," Michael promised. "Tomorrow morning. Well, explain everything. Make sure she understands this doesn't change how much we both love her or how much Amara will always be her mother." Emma nodded, but uncertainty lingered in her eyes. "Are you sure we shouldn't wait? Tell her when some time has passed, when we're certain. I've never been more certain of anything in my life," Michael said firmly. "But if you want to wait to tell her, we can." They moved to the living room, talking for hours about what this would mean, how they would navigate the transition for Lily's sake, the practical considerations of their intertwined future. As midnight approached, the storm intensified, rain lashing against the windows with renewed fury. "I should go," Emma said reluctantly, glancing at the darkening sky. "It's getting worse out there." Michael tightened his hold on her hand. "Stay," he said again, but this time with different meaning. The air between them charged with possibility. Emma's eyes searched his. "Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything." He brushed a strand of hair from her face. "But I need you to know if you stay tonight. Everything changes. I've been holding myself back for years, and I don't think I have the strength to do it anymore." Lightning flashed, briefly, illuminating the vulnerability in his expression. Emma reached up to touch his face, her palm warm against his cheek. Then, "Stop holding back," she whispered. "I'm not going anywhere." As the storm raged outside, they found shelter in each other's arms. 5 years of longing, finally finding release, in the darkness of his bedroom, a space that had known only loneliness for so long. Michael rediscovered what it meant to be truly seen, truly known, truly loved. They fell asleep, tangled together, the storm eventually subsiding to a gentle rain that lulled them into deeper slumber. Neither heard the small creak of the bedroom door opening just after dawn. Lily stood in the doorway, her favorite stuffed rabbit clutched to her chest, eyes wide as she took in the sight before her. Her father and Miss Emma asleep in each other's arms. Emma's head rested on Michael's chest, his arm wrapped protectively around her shoulders, their hands intertwined even in sleep. For a moment, Lily stood frozen, a kaleidoscope of emotions crossing her young face. Confusion, hurt, betrayal. Then she backed away silently, closing the door with exquisite care. In her room, Lily moved with quiet determination. She pulled her backpack from the closet and stuffed it with essentials. Her rabbit, the camera Emma had given her, the photo album of her mother, a change of clothes from her piggy bank. She took the $20 she'd been saving for a new art set. She scribbled a note in her childish handwriting. "Gone to Grandma's. Don't look for me," placing it on her pillow. She slipped out of her room, down the stairs, and out the front door into the rain-washed morning. Michael woke to sunlight streaming through the windows and the warm weight of Emma beside him. For a moment, he simply savored the sensation, the brightness of it. Then reality intruded. Lily would be waking soon if she wasn't already up. "Emma," he whispered, gently, shaking her awake. "It's morning." Emma's eyes fluttered open, confusion giving way to remembrance and then alarm. "Lily." "I'll check on her," Michael said, pressing a quick kiss to her forehead. "Stay here. I'll bring her in when I've explained things." He pulled on sweatpants and a t-shirt before padding down the hall to Lily's room. He knocked softly, then opened the door when there was no response. The empty bed and the note on the pillow sent ice through his veins. Michael's heart stopped when he found Lily's note. "Gone to Grandma's." "Don't look for me! Emma!" he shouted, panic rising in his throat. "Li's gone!" They frantically called his mother-in-law, but Lily hadn't arrived. Rain had started again, making Michael's fear even more acute as they began searching the neighborhood. "This is my fault," Emma whispered, tears streaming down her face. "We should have waited, should have talked to her first." Michael couldn't respond, his mind racing with terrible possibilities. Where would a 9-year-old go on a rainy morning? Then it hit him. The botanical gardens. Amara's favorite place. They drove their intense silence, the 15-minute journey feeling like hours. The gardens were just opening when they arrived, and the attendant confirmed seeing a little girl enter alone. They found Lily sitting on a bench near the Jasmine collection, soaked and shivering, clutching her mother's photo album to her chest. Lily. Michael rushed to her, dropping to his knees. "We've been so worried." "You lied to me," Lily said, her voice small but accusatory. "You said no one could replace Mom, but now you and Miss Emma are." She couldn't finish, tears overtaking her. Emma hung back, giving them space, her own heart breaking. "Sweetheart," Michael said gently, "no one is replacing your mom ever. Emma and I care about each other, but that doesn't change how much we both loved your mother." "Then why didn't you tell me?" Lily demanded. Why was it a secret? Michael sighed, realizing his mistake. "Because I was afraid you wouldn't understand, afraid of changing things. I was wrong not to talk to you first, and I'm so sorry." Emma cautiously approached, kneeling beside them. "Lily, I would never try to take your mother's place. She will always be your mom, and you will always be her daughter. Nothing can change that. But things will be different," Lily said, her voice small. "Yes," Michael admitted, "some things will change. But not how much I love you. Not how much we both miss your mom. And not how much we talk about her and remember her." Lily looked between them, her young face serious beyond her years. "I need time to think about it." "Of course," Emma said immediately. "We can take all the time you need." They returned home, Lily quiet, but no longer running away. Over the following weeks, they moved carefully, Emma and Michael maintaining their relationship, but giving Lily space to adjust. They had family therapy sessions where Lily could express her fears and concerns. Gradually, Lily began to accept the new reality. The turning point came when Emma suggested they create a special memory corner in the living room dedicated to Amara, filled with her photographs, cameras, and mementos. "This way," Emma explained, "your mom is always part of our daily lives, not just someone we remember on special days." Lily's eyes had lit up at the idea. "Can I help design it?" 6 months later, as they celebrated Lily's 10th birthday, Michael watched his daughter blow out her candles, Emma beside her, helping to cut the cake. The memory corner gleamed in the background, Amara's smiling face watching over them. That night after Lily was asleep, Michael took Emma's hand on the porch swing. "Thank you," he said simply, "for understanding that loving you doesn't mean I stopped loving her, for helping Lily see that, too." Emma squeezed his hand. "Family isn't about replacing people we've lost. It's about growing our capacity to love," as they sat together under the stars. Michael realized that strength wasn't about holding back feelings. It was about having the courage to embrace them, even knowing the risks, and in that courage, he had found not just love again, but a family made stronger by honoring both what was lost and what was found.